What's happening, friends? My name is Megan Taylor Jordan. I'm the CEO of the Village Music Group, and this is my show and tell. We have an inaugural bottle of champagne here, Moet and Chandon. Beautiful, lovely bottle that I got when I graduated college in 2018. Shout out Pepperdine. At the time, it was like the nicest bottle of champagne that I'd ever had, and I'm still a very big fan of Moet, don't get me wrong. I just knew that I wanted to use it for something special, and I knew that the Village was this thing that I wanted to build with the dope people around me. So I titled it with the word The Village across from the label. And then I had everyone who's ever come in contact with the Village and our group and our brand and our identity sign it. I'm on here, Reggie's on here, of course. My homie Terrence is on here, who's just amazing plug and a great friend. Some of the other folks from the Village are in the room. They have a chance to sign it because normally I keep it at home and don't really bring it out, but I brought it out for Rick today. But yeah, this is the first item. And eventually we'll open it. I don't know when. What year is it? 2021 at this point. So I think really it's just a shrine to the Village right now. Maybe it'll get open, maybe it won't. Ideally, we'd open it when something majorly incredible happens, but you don't really know what that is until it happens. So that's my first item. Okay, my second book is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. And I discovered her last year sometime. I don't like to loan my books out. I like for my books to be my books, remain in my library. And I gave my sister a book that she never returned. I broke my rule for her. And of course, she proved why it's a rule in the first place. So instead of taking my book back, we did a book exchange, and I happened to take Parable of the Sower, and it just kind of revolutionized my entire life, my way of thinking, just everything that's a part of this book, the lessons, the protagonist, the story in itself is just phenomenal and fantastic to me. And it quickly became one of my favorite reads and my favorite novel. And the author as well, Octavia Butler, is just somebody who spearheaded the science fiction lane as a Black woman in that time period where she came from was just pretty much unheard of. So a lot of the things that we read and see today are kind of her legacy. So I thought that was just like an added benefit to it. My goal this year has been to read every single last one of her books. My amazing mother surprised me with every single last one of her books. So I'm working my way down the list, but this is the catalyst, and it really changed my world. So that's my second item. Rule number 1 at the Village is never go anywhere without your book bag. So of course, I have my book bag. And I'm gonna give you guys a tour of the book bag. Nothing crazy, but really it has my whole life in it. I have 2 laptops, one for work, because I still work a 9-to-5 job, which I love. My personal, so you can imagine it gets a bit heavy. A magazine on business and leadership from the New York Times, because gotta feed the brain. Journal number 1, journal number 2, with the Village logo on it, or monogram. The Alchemist, which is an incredible book that I recommended to my friend Edgar Mendez, who I don't know if he's read it yet, but I recommended it, and I recommend it to everybody who's watching right now. Great book for the dreamers. And this new book on mindfulness that I picked up, but have yet to read because I'm an avid collector of books, but I don't really have the time to read them. So there's that. And one more journal, so that makes 3. Fourth on my list of things for show and tell is my newly acquired Pentax K1000 film camera. It's probably my favorite purchase to date. Since about, I wanna say like 2018, 2019, I started just buying disposable cameras and just taking them with me everywhere. We went on this like mini tour of Europe, and I grabbed like 5 disposable cameras to bring with us. Honestly, it started at this Love Renaissance Grammy party in 2018, and they gave us these disposables when you got there, and they were like, take them, document the night, and then give it back to us. And I'm like, I'm not giving you guys this camera back. Like, I'm never gonna see these pictures again. I met all these cool people. Like, I'm taking this camera with me. Shout out to y'all. Thank you, Love Renaissance, for the cameras. If we ever come across each other, my bad, but I took your cameras. They were great, and that was honestly the beginning to just me and loving photography, and that you can tell a story with one picture. So from there, I just started grabbing so many disposables and just kind of taking that journey. And then eventually this past year, I just kind of, after this had been sitting in my cart for a year and just deciding if I really needed it, it's now become like my third hand. I don't go anywhere without it. I take pictures of everybody around me. So yeah, I love it. So my last item is a bit of a personal one. It's this ring that has my last name on it. When I was like 15, 16 maybe, in my granddad's house, and I'm like notorious for going in there and taking his stuff, his jackets, his clothes, and just turning it into fashion. And one day I was helping him clean up. I saw the companion to one of his rings that he wears, and it has the last name on it, of course. It's literally the identical ring. He wears it across his neck. So I took it, of course, wanting to have something of his, and also that has my last name on it because mementos are great to me. And yeah, for almost the rest of like high school, well into college, and even after college, I wore it every single day. I never took it off. This is my ring. It's my last item for show and tell. Okay, well, that's everything that I brought in my handy dandy bag of tricks. Thank you guys so much for having me, DP Rick. This was lovely. I had a really great time showing pieces of myself here with you guys. If you have time, follow the Village Music _ on Instagram. Be on the lookout for Reggie Becton's first album that's coming out this fall. New drops from Saki, new drops from Eric Penn, new drops from everybody on the team. Beautiful productions coming your way. Stay looped in, stay tapped in. Be sure to follow DP Rick Productions. And thank you so much.